Welcome back to Blue Collar Speed and Repair. Continuing to work on the 1968 Chevy G20, aka the Vuck. Last video, I believe, it's all kind of running together now. We sealed up the cab. We had a bunch of water leaking inside, and went through and made some gaskets for the roof and the horn. Did some sealer around the windshield, sealed up the door, stuff like that. Anyway, with that being done, I want to do some work on our interior. Something I've been wanting to do since we got this thing. Had some ideas. Obviously, the seats are pretty tore up. They're pretty nasty. It had some carpet glued in when we got it. The upper panels are plastic. They're actually laying over there. The lower panels were made out of this like thin wood or cardboard material like the doors have here. We are going to attempt and try our best to make our own panels and make our own interior. We got a pile of materials here. We've been brainstorming on some ideas. And I think we came up with something that's going to look pretty cool. So stick around. Let's get after it. So these are the original interior panels for the rear. There's some kind of a press board or whatever. Obviously they've been water damaged and destroyed. So we got this kind of a plastic material. It's got a texture to it. It's thin. This is 1/8 inch stuff, but it's flexible. The panels are two separate pieces on each side. So be a panel from like here to here, which is flat, and then there's a panel that takes this corner, that curves in this corner. So I'm hoping we can use that stuff to kind of flex. I'm not an interior guy at all, or really know how to work with plastic, but we're going to give it a try and see how it works out. So I'm hoping we can just use this as a template and at least get us close. So we'll just kind of draw this out, cut it, test fit it. Should we go a little big just for the heck of it? Or, well, it's going to have material wrapped around the edge, right?
Yeah.
So I just don't know about the length on the bottom since it's all curled. So maybe we go a hair long at the, well, I guess we go to that length.
You got a straight edge.
A what?
A straight edge?
Straight edge. What's,
it's straight.
okay, I had it lined up to this corner. I guess it's...
So leave it curved.
All right, I guess we need a straight edge now, huh? I think kind of that. Yeah, this stuff's so thin, it should cut pretty easy with the jigsaw here, I think. Sure we're not going to cut through the cable. Switch sides with me. And, turn this edge here. All right. Do you remember which side that was?
Passenger side.
You sure?
Pretty sure. I'm not positive.
Okay.
Oh.
I guess we skipped a crucial step here. Before we do any test fitting, we're going to pull those seats out and get them out of our way. Okay. This has a, I don't know if you see that very well, but it's got like a strip that this should slide into. So we'll have to remember that when we put the material on.
Yeah.
Keep it thin, but that's one panel. It's flexible enough that once we get the material on it, glued on, and put a few screws in it, should be just fine. Let's try cutting the back pieces. Okay, this one's going to be a little more tricky because of the curve. But let's see what happens here. Also don't know why this has notches. Okay. Okay.
I'm trying to curve it up or no?
No, I want you to let go. Something like that ish. Okay. Now let's see if this one fits. Now this is the tricky part of the curve. Almost like it doesn't curve at the bottom. Hardly at all. I think that seems a little odd. I feel like this should have went straight down.
Yeah, if you look at the bottom piece for the door, it's got the same notches in there to match that.
What do you mean?
The It's like they tried to fit the other one under this one. The one that goes into the back doors to fit underneath that one, like notch them together. We have enough material before we cut it.
So you think this is supposed to be like this, is what you're saying?
I think so. You want me to go grab the other board?
What other board?
The one that was underneath the doors. To show you what I'm talking about?
Oh, that one's all tore up.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying it's the right way to do it. I'm just saying that's what I think they were doing. We have plastic in there.
Well, it kind of has to notch over, right? So I don't know how good the lighting is here, but for you guys to see, but there's a panel that goes across the back, all the way across the bottom, and in order to attach it, this obviously can't be up to that edge. I feel like that's kind of how it has to be. I mean, we can fudge it up and down a little bit if we have to. That plastic piece at the top is going to cover it.
Yeah. I think it's fine the way it is.
Think so?
Yeah.
Just run with what they had?
Yeah, I mean, they put a lot of effort into it.
I sure would have liked to have seen this originally, but whatever. All right. Yeah. I guess we'll cut the other two pieces out. We got to get these panels off.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
We got to do some measuring here. All right, let's go cut these other two real quick, and we'll kind of lay these in place and figure out a size for this back panel. Okay.
Trying to fall out.
Should be kind of in that area. Is that halfway or so?
Yeah.
All right. These are just standard self-tapping screws. Sorry about the light. It's kind of behind us here. Okay. Yeah, they're in my pocket. You know, if there was a little more room in here. Oh, there was a hole there.
That light doesn't work at all. Just trying to give you a little more light.
Yeah.
Help him?
I don't know.
Besides, I'm blocking it on this side.
That's the unfortunate part. This plastic flexes a little too much.
I wonder if the trim will be over.
No, there won't.
No?
Nope. It just goes up to it. Okay. The first of many panels. And then that top edge will be covered by this. What do you think?
I like it.
I do too. All right, I'm gonna put this back in, and then we'll see about putting some material on those other panels. All right, first panel in. We're gonna move on to the side panels on each side. Same process. We're gonna use the same backing material, but this is gonna get a felt material. We'll get to that in a sec. This is more of the same. Is there really any reason to like draw it out, or should we just glue it on and then trim off the extra?
We can do that.
I mean,
We just kind of need to like cut a general.
well,
This
I mean,
won't unfold.
this one unfolds, right?
Yeah, but I mean, it won't unfold unless we unfold the whole thing.
I understand,
Yeah.
but we can cut.
Yeah.
We can cut a strip like that.
Yes, I agree.
I'm gonna change it up just a little bit here. No good place to put that camera without stepping in front of it, sorry. Okay. If we cut this in half. There's a wrinkle at this end, it's not cooperating. There we go.
Actually, there might be enough each side to do both.
Maybe. Let's try it. We'll just do this to one end here. So this is the outside. What do you want to do about? Do you want to cut this cardboard in half?
There's more cardboard. Grab another box. Because we're gonna need it. Whatever.
Mm-hmm. Ah.
Sure.
That one is.
I don't care.
You want to just start at this edge?
Yeah, that's fine. I don't remember which direction it was. I think it was this direction.
Or which side's wider? You're kind of touch the. That should work. Here, grab this corner. Or I'll grab that one. Never mind. I don't know. Pull it a little bit snug. Again, trying to keep the wrinkles out of it as much as possible. Okay. Should be able to follow this side, right?
Mm-hmm.
So look at that. We don't really know what we're doing, but it it looks like it sometimes.
Here, come on.
Cut a little wide. That's all right. This one's okay. I gotta reach all the way across. Huh?
Oh, you done it? I'm just trying to smooth it out. Good
Oh.
shaky hands, a razor blade.
Okay.
Here. There's your present.
All right, now we need cardboard again. So we get the material over here.
We were supposed to cut the fabric before we did that.
All right, you want to move the cardboard? Okay. All right, here's the felt we opted for.
I think we should be able to get 2 panels out of
Yep.
that.
Just kind of do the same thing, right?
Yep, stick to the edge.
Well, these we got to cut a little bit big so we can fold over the edge, though.
Yep.
So.
All
right, so I guess we should say this is the felt we're going with, obviously. We decided to go lighter. We did get a lighter and a darker, but since it's going off of that, right next to that leather piece we just put in, and then the darker brown of the upper plastic, we decided to go with the lighter to kind of contrast.
Look at us acting like we know what we're doing.
Well, we like to pretend now and then. Give it a sec.
Stop and fan it.
Fan it. Give me an end. How are we doing this?
Just, it's oversized, so I think we're gonna have to cut it off a little bit somewhere. There's no other use for it anyway, so.
Okay, now that's stuck to the cardboard. Okay. Now what? Just didn't cut very well.
I went to cut it twice and you mixed it out. Figured I'd just give you a minute.
Okay,
All right,
more glue.
I'm just gonna rotate it for you.
So I'll start here. Nice thing about this stuff, it's a little bit stretchy.
A little. Like wheel well. Driver's side wheel well. There we go.
There we go. Now what? How'd you do that?
What?
Okay. All right, I guess we do the other side and get those. Okay. It'll be a little tight getting in here. Okay. I think I'm just going to put a couple on the border.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, don't do that. Probably start with there. Having exposed screws is probably not the best plan, but that's all right. Yes, there.
This thing has had exposed screws since the previous owner did their customization, so.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. One probably in here. Self-tapping screws don't self-tap very well.
Upside to using plastic? It won't disintegrate like the cardboard did.
True. Okay.
And those top screws will be covered up when we put that.
Well, I don't know if all of them will. I don't remember how far down it comes, but
Yeah.
remember there's a rear seat that goes here as well, so. All right. Next. Which way does this go?
Like that.
Okay. That looks pretty good. What do you think?
I like it.
I don't know why you're looking at me. Look at those.
I did look at those.
All right. The previous corner pieces had speaker holes cut in them. I did go ahead and run some speaker wire just kind of loosely across the top. I think we are going to put speaker holes back into it because eventually we do want to make the radio and everything work. Who doesn't like music blaring while they're driving around? So let's go cut those holes out and get the felt on them. See if we can get those installed.
Okay.
And then we can put these upper panels in. All right. These are going to be a little tricky to get lined up. I'm pretty sure this had carpet. So Whoa, what's happening there? Kind of twisted. I don't know how well speakers are going to line up in there either.
You may have to make some kind of a corner box.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Whoa! It's going to be close to the edge. Yeah. I don't know why this had that curve at the bottom. I didn't need it.
Yeah.
But whatever. Okay. Do we know where all the screws are for the upper pieces?
They're over there in the metal.
Okay. Yeah, let's put this one on real quick.
I like it.
I think it looks pretty damn good. Look better when there's carpet and a headliner.
Get some seats.
Yeah, I think these could have been a little bit smaller. There's pretty good gap in there.
Yeah.
But I guess really what we should have done is put these in and then mock these into place. And we could have trimmed and adjusted accordingly, but whatever.
Can't tell from here.
Yeah, be all right. It'll be all right. All right. We're going to do this side, and then I don't know what we're doing next. Probably these panels and the front doors.
Yeah, we got some trim to take off those.
Yep. Yep. All right. We'll be back. Okay. These are the panels off the rearmost doors, the back-facing doors. More of the same. The only difference is this is getting that plaid material. We'll show you that in a minute here.
So we're using plaid fabric for the back panels and for the front door panels, yeah?
Yes.
And for the seats. But the only plaid that we can find is a knit fabric. So we're going to cut it, cut some stabilizer, iron it on, and then, yeah, as I said. Yeah. So we're just trying to cut it along the line.
So basically what she means is it's a knit fabric so that it's stretchy. So if we try to put it over this and stretch around the edges, it's going to be all uneven. So she has a material that's going to go on the back of this that doesn't stretch. What was it? What'd you call it?
Stabilizer.
Stabilizer. She said this is what we're doing, so that's what we're doing. So right now she's just going to cut it to rough size and then put the other stuff on it, the stabilizer.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll be able to mount it onto the board. If that makes sense. In any way, shape, or form.
We're just turning the shop into a craft room today.
Yeah.
Basically, we're just going to do one of these.
So this stuff will wire onto the back and it does not stretch. So that'll keep this material, what's the word I'm looking for? From
like uniform.
Yeah,
so
uniform.
we can keep the plaid pattern.
Yeah. Does it matter which way up this is?
No.
Okay.
I'm just folded in half here so that we can get the double.
There was a certain side that had to be ironed to it.
I'm going to do this side, but it doesn't really matter.
I have no idea what's happening. She said we need to do this, so we're doing this. You didn't know we were doing laundry today, did you? Want me to stretch this a little?
Yeah, gently.
Okay, maybe I shouldn't.
Stretch, but not stretch. And of course it's a knit, so you have to go on a low temperature.
Yep.
So we could be here for a while.
Everybody knows that.
When was the last time you used an iron?
It's been a minute. Alright, she's gonna do ironing stuff, some kind of magic happens, I don't know. We'll get back with you. So we read the instructions. Weird, I know. So you use a damp rag between the iron and the material. And I mean, I don't know what this stuff's made of. I don't know what kind of magic happens, whatever, but it fuses the two materials together. So if you look here, that's laying on top of it. Now these are one piece. And now this material, obviously you can see the edge there is stretchy, but the rest of it is not, which is what we're going for. Okay, it's 2 beers later. She got this all ironed on. It's pretty cool. I don't know what the moisture of the towel and the heat does, but you can see this stuff doesn't really stretch at all compared to just this material, which obviously stretches a lot. So you can see that if you were trying to stretch this over our panels there, how uneven you could make it. So very interesting. Didn't realize that was even a thing. I would have just stretched it over and called it good. So something we got to be aware of here. These panels obviously go side by side. And obviously we're going to be in the same plane this way, as in we'll be cutting this material in half in order to make the two. So we'll have to make sure and line up the same way, as in we need to pick a line on this material because there is a design to it. We don't want it to end up like this, so that when the two panels are next to each other, the design is offset. Likewise, we need to figure out how to line it up side to side as well. So we'll probably end up taking how do you want to do this? Do you want to have a dark match up to a light, or a dark to a dark, so the two panels are exactly the same, or what do you want to do?
I feel like we should probably make it so it looks like it's a continual piece.
That way it'll be the same all the way across, so it's in the outsides will be the same. They'll both have the same look, basically. Just mirrored each other. Okay. Excuse me. All right, a little different this time. I think we're going to lay the material down flat, spray it with glue, and then lay our panels on them. So let's get this out nice and smooth. We're using our cleanest table, obviously. Yeah, see, there's stuff under here. What other options do we have? I don't really have anything smooth to lay on. I guess we'll just see what happens, huh? We're gonna end up with glue on the table though. So if we lay the cardboard down, it's gonna end up uneven because we don't have a big chunk of cardboard.
That's fine, we have acetone, we can look it up.
This piece long enough? Not quite. Yeah, well, we have the whole other sheet. All right, let's just go for it. Realistically, we don't need to go all the way to the edge just yet. Yeah, get your fancy scissors out of the way.
No.
We're about out in this one. This should be enough to get done what we need to get done here. Spray entirely too much glue. All right, and the way this works is these handles actually face each other, so spinning the top, what we decide? Dark?
Yeah.
I think the bottom is the straightest part. So maybe off of that corner. I failed already, I think. I think they're uneven. I think I screwed up. All right. So can we go all the way this one? We can. All right. Oh.
This one's a little lower. Or a little higher.
All right. Like I said, this is kind of the trick here. Is that better?
No.
No, not even close.
You line it up to this one? Or should be closer?
Yeah, but we'd only have that much material.
Oh, space in between. I get it. Sorry.
Yeah. So if that goes there. I feel like this is not doing what we want it to, though.
We're further up or down on this side then.
What do you mean?
Line it up with these. Lining up with these. I'm trying to.
So if I go to this corner and there, it ends up going down. Unless it's here. What? That's about right. Look at that. Yeah.
No, I was like it's miraculous that you got it close.
Well, close-ish. It's not quite right there. But it's going to be good enough. At least those are the two sides that are up against each other. So it'll really show. All right. Crappy scissors. Or actually probably just razor blade. Go something like that. Something like that. All right. Should have used scissors. A little tip for you. If you're doing this kind of interior type stuff, keep a bunch of razor blades around. Seem to go through them really quick. Yep. Cut the corners. We'll spray this again. Excuse me. And then get them installed. All right, this is going to be a little bit tricky because this has a funky angle at the bottom. Not sure how to go about this besides just trying to jam a screw in it. So this funky angle here, it's not going to be easy to deal with. So I think I'm just going to put a screw in this angle. Let's see how it turns out. I may not have enough hands here. I want to latch this one if I can, but I can't.
Okay, if you give me a second, I can go around to the other side and latch it real quick.
Yeah. Well, that didn't work. Whoa, that's not good. We may have to poke this first.
Okay. What do we need?
Something to poke it with. Be right in that corner. All right, because this is a stretchier material, this is the screw's kind of grabbing it. Yeah. Not sure the best course of action here. I don't know if the drill bit would help. It would probably do the same thing. Whoa. There's not one in the middle. I feel like this whole thing should have been that way a little bit, huh?
Yeah, maybe.
Kind of can't now, though.
You can make some holes in the... Yeah. Some parts will be getting the other side lined up to it.
Now what?
I don't know, we're gonna have to pre-drill or pre-something.
I don't know how though. We've kind of boogered that corner up now.
Well, at least that corner is gonna be covered by the trim.
The trim go down that far?
That lines up with the other trim, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Okay. That's the back half of at least the side panels done. I don't know if you noticed before, we did go ahead and put some cheapy Pioneer speakers I had laying around in. But yeah, I think it turned out really, really good. Ignore my dirty footprints. Everything needs to be wiped down, of course. Everything's filthy, but that's kind of look we're going for. So the plaid will be in the seats as well. And I think we're pulling this carpet and that's going to get plaid also. But that is tomorrow's project. It is supper time around here. Really tired. It's a little warm out. So we're going to call it. We'll see you guys in the morning. All right. It's next day. It's actually after lunchtime already. Time flies. Finished up the interior panels on the rear yesterday. I think it turned out fantastic. We got to figure out a door handle on that side. It's actually the spot that the door handle hooks to is actually broken. We got to get into that some other time. But other than that, the rest of this all turned out extremely well. So I want to turn our attention to front door panels. So the faux leather or whatever is staying. We're not going to change that at all. But I want to get rid of this nasty, dirty carpet. Unfortunately, it is glued to the door, so that's going to be a good time. And then this is a little more tricky. We're going to use that plastic, I think, that same white plastic to make the panels and that plaid material. But we don't have a template to go off of. So it's going to be a little more difficult. But a little bit of patience, I think we can get through it. You got some tools for us, I guess? Okay. Okay. Pretty sure we showed this before when we had this off, but all these little buttons on the front of these panels are all tied on. Somebody spent a lot of time on this stuff. All right, now what? I guess we rip the bulk of this off. Yeah, that's not coming off. There we go.
So what if it's happy?
I don't know if like some heat would help, or let me grab some pliers. Grab a hold of this a little better. Oh, Ugh. All right, now what? Good thing is most of this will be covered up by an actual panel. So I think we'll kind of like the floor. And what else do we do it on? The inside of the doghouse. We'll knock all this stuff loose with the wire wheel. All right, I don't think I'm going to go any more than I have to, because it's going through the brown paint and I don't want to end up getting up into this part. Again, all of it's going to be covered by a panel anyway, so it really doesn't matter what it looks like behind it. Now we got to figure out how to make a template. Okay, I did this kind of a rough size here. So we should be able to, it's got to go that way. Line up with the front, kind of ish. Not really, no. Well, there we go. Okay. So let me hold that for a second. And we'll find some tape. Not actually prepared like usual. Gonna stay? Ish. Okay. So now, where is this panel? We don't know that this is 100% correct though, right? And it could be off side to side just a hair. Well, I don't think it really matters either, because
it lines up with the bottom line there.
So it needs to go down here. Well, no, because it didn't go.
Lines up right here.
Was it? Okay.
And we can always do this just a little bit big. So.
Yeah, and that's kind of the plan. So that gives us this panel, but we'll actually cut probably a 1/2 inch or 3/4 of an inch inside this line. So it'll actually tuck under this leather panel. All right, so here, we're just gonna go all the way around the door. And same thing, we'll have to cut just a hair inside this line. Oh. And this is getting covered by material anyway, so it's not a real big deal. What about the front edge? We lined up there all the way down. We're a little off, aren't we? Something like that.
Yep.
All right, let's rough cut that. No, yeah.
That's fine. We'll just hold the tape under.
Yeah. So we'll rough cut this and then set it back up here and see how it looks. These come back just a hair. Is that Sharpie? That marker? It's right here next to me. All right. So we need to straighten this line off. And go around that corner a little bit. And then straighten that off a little bit. Right? And then we'll cover it. I don't know if we should square these off a little bit or not, or if it matters. Again, it's going to be covered pretty much to here anyway, so it doesn't really matter. We just got to make sure this upper line looks okay. Right? Right. All right. All right, this turned out really good. Let me get on that side. Hold it to the top of that.
Not lined up with this way.
Yeah, I think it's got to come this way just a hair. And the back panels, it didn't quite line up here, but that's right. Trying to drill through this just twisted up the material. So using a soldering iron and going through the material and plastic seemed to work. And then I lost the screw gun that's behind you. I think it's double thickness there. There we go. And it frayed it a little bit. Yeah, I think that's just the way it is. All right.
Maybe when you pull the soldering iron.
Yeah, I think I pushed in a little far. I don't know. Should I go above that, maybe? Aim for that hole. It's already there. That. Okay. And if we go, I don't know, this area. I don't want it right in. Okay. Nope, I think I'm good. A few more screws. Okay, got the door panel all put back together. I think it looks pretty dang good. Skipped ahead. Knocked out the other side. That looks a whole lot better than shag carpet. So that's all the interior panels done. We're going to do some vacuuming, probably wipe everything down with a wet rag. Show you what we got for carpet. So obviously a factory style carpet kit wouldn't work for a vehicle like this. Now there's a seat on each side, and if you remember from way back when we got this thing, there were jump seats facing the rear. So I really just need the rear to be covered. Well, I don't really need any of it covered, but I want to cover the very back and the very fronts. So I got something I think that'll work. Doormats. The reason I went this route is they're thick and should be durable, and they're rubber backed. So I'm hoping I don't have to glue anything in place, because like our brake master cylinders under the floor, we'll need access to that. I don't want to glue carpet down on top of that, as well as in that back corner is the battery compartment. So those mats are 24 by 36. This width is 24 inches. I don't believe they're going to be pliable enough to make this break. So we'll probably have to do two pieces. 12 inches is just up to here. So we'll do a 12-inch piece across here, and 24 inches will come back to, I don't know, in this area somewhere. We don't really need it to come back here, but I'm hoping that that strip being in this section will keep the mat from flopping around or moving and sliding. So our plastic that we used for everything else, I cut a 24 by 24 inch chunk. I'm going to make a bunch of measurements, roughly, cut this into a semi shape of what we need, and then we'll probably have to test fit it, I don't know, 20 or 30 times, and see if we can make this thing fit. All right, several measurements and a whole bunch of cuts later, this is what I came up with. So I just used this break in the floor and this edge to plot kind of points and cut it out, and then I used tape to add back areas where I mismeasured or cut a little too much. So now let's try to transfer this to a rug. Can you take this? I don't know if you caught it or not, but I did opt to go around the throttle pedal. That throttle doesn't have a lot of throw anyway. I don't really want the rug kind of interfering with it. A little hard to see with the light shining on it. Okay. Now how the heck do I cut that? I don't know if scissors are going to do it. I guess it will. Kinda. So again, part of the reason I went with this, with the rubber back, is the edges aren't going to fray like a regular carpet would. So, just the other question is, will this hole saw cut? Oh, yeah. All right, well, I'm gonna spend a little time cutting this out. We'll see how it looks. A little bit. Cut that section out. It looked like Texas, I guess. Kind of. Sort of ish. All right. See how we did. I'd say that's pretty good. Like I said, the rubber back should help keep it from moving around. So now we got to cut all that stuff out. Not looking forward to that. Do we need the toe boards? I kind of feel like we should.
I mean, I don't think we really need them, but...
Well, like this foot kind of rests up here. This side doesn't matter as much. I kind of feel like we should.
Okay.
I'm afraid we might have to glue those in though too. And maybe put a couple screws at the top. Oh, let's try with that at first. And we'll go from there.
What now?
Okay, all the pieces are in. The back turned out pretty good. There is a little bit of a gap. If you reference the center line down the middle, like halfway between each of the tan panels, the leather piece bows in a little bit. There's no support at the bottom, so I might have to put like a little piece of angle iron or something to hold that out. Not that big of a deal. The rest of this will be covered by a seat. The rest of this will be covered by a seat. I opted to just put a little panel on this side where my left foot would rest. Obviously that side's going to have gas pedal and brake pedal. I'm not going to rest a foot there anywhere. We did this out of a scrap. I do have the rest of this piece. If I decide later that I want to go around all this stuff, I will. But for now, I got at least coverage for where my foot rests. And then on the other side, same thing. We did the upper panel here. We didn't glue these upper panels in at all. If they move around, we can always just spray it with some adhesive. All of them could actually be glued down except for the main one on the driver's side, because of the brake master cylinder. The rest of them can all be glued down if I wanted to. But again, that's why we did the rubber backs. So unfortunately, the doors are open. Can you shut that one real quick? So that's all the interior panels done. Forgot to clean up my boot prints over here, but that's all right. I think it turned out really, really good. I like the front doors a lot. Dash still needs a little cleaning up. Not sure what we're going to do there. Carpet, I think, is going to work out well. This door panel, of course, looks just as good as the other side. And unfortunately, that's going to do it for part one of the interior. We have dinner plans tonight. I need a little bit of free time to myself, either at work or out here in the shop. So we're going out with some friends, and I only have so much time to do stuff. So I'm going to have to split the interior in two parts, unfortunately. That was neat. We got seats to recover and headliner to do. Was there something else? I did buy a stereo for it. We do got to figure out where the heck to put front speakers because I don't see a good spot. Anyway, we'll get to all that. Other than that, thank you very, very much for watching. This thing has come a long, long way. If you have not seen previous videos on where this thing started, I suggest you go back and watch them. It's pretty cool. Other than that, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff for YouTube. I appreciate it very, very much. Help me hit subscriber goals. I'd appreciate it. Other than that, you got anything to add?
Thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for hanging out. We will see you guys next time.